Hello everyone, today we're going to see how you can actually run TikTok ads for your coaching or your consulting offer or your course. Actually, we have seen great results recently with TikTok ads, with some coaching offers. I really highly recommend testing that. It's a very blue ocean right now. No people actually advertise on TikTok in general, but even less people actually advertise on TikTok for their coaching or your course, and just focus on the other platforms that they have been for the past few years. I'm going to show you exactly how we approach selling a course or your coaching offer or high ticket coaching offer on TikTok, and how you can do that, how you can find successful TikTok ads. So let's go. I'm gonna step each step of the funnel right now, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go right into it. So before going into the TikTok nitty gritty, how you can set up account, what's the best ad account structure, how you're gonna structure all the thing, how we go about testing, how about scaling on that platform. Really the key difference between actually posting a physical product on TikTok is actually the funnel. So I recommend for a coaching offer a VSL to call funnel. So basically someone who lands from an ad is actually land to a page that is a VSL, and then he can actually book a call with you and you sell them on the phone. Now, the big difference for that funnel in comparison to running the same thing on Facebook or some other media channels is the length of the VSLs. Now, people from TikTok have even lower attention spans than people on Facebook or Instagram and stuff. So I recommend don't go with the 30-minute VSL that probably used to do it, and other channels go like 5 to 10 minutes maximum, and squeeze it in. Have a lot of testimonials in that landing page, and you see a lot of leads coming through like crazy. TikTok is a very blue ocean about that. If you have a good product, have the testimonials, and you know what I'm going to be talking about, and you follow that, there's no way you're not making money with TikTok. So first things first, have your funnel in place, have a VSL about 5 minutes long, have your testimonials, and have a call to action to book a call with you. Just a regular VSL funnel, VSL to book funnel, VSL to call funnel, I'm sorry. So that's really the first step. Now let's go into TikTok. First step is actually set up your pixel. I'm assuming you're using ClickFunnels because this is what most people use, but whatever you use, it's very straightforward. You have seen a lot of videos on YouTube that actually guide you exactly through each platform that you use. So I can actually know what platform you're going to be using. It's really easy. As you're going to see here, if you go to assets, you go to events, after you create your ad account and stuff, I'm going to go through that. I'm going to have links in the description how you're going to set up your business account on TikTok and just create your account. It's very easy stuff. I don't want to waste time on the very admin stuff, and I'll show you the actual strategy here. So if you go to assets, events, you have two options: app events, which we don't care because you have an app, and the web events, you're going to click manage. On the web events, you're going to have your pixel here. You're going to click set up web events, and here it gives you two options: the TikTok pixel and the event API. If you do and have the ability or the dev actually resource that you can actually set it up, I recommend going with the event API. It's very similar to the Facebook copy. Basically, it's gonna get as much data back to the TikTok algorithm, so you can optimize better and stuff, and compensate for that loss of data from the iOS 14. So I recommend doing that. If you don't, no worry, click the pixel and name it whatever you want to name it, click next, and then you have two options: manually set up pixel code and set up events via partner platforms. Now, it's very hard to set up events via partner platforms just because you have different events, in different places. Basically, just optimizing for leads. So you can use something like that. You can see here the partners, they don't have like ClickFunnels support or stuff. You have the tag manager, so if you use something like that, it's gonna be good. But you're probably gonna use manually set up pixel code. But it's very easy because it has a whole document that they can actually show you. So you're just gonna paste it on the ClickFunnels. I'm actually gonna link a video with the ClickFunnels, how you can actually set up the event down below. So we're gonna go to the strategy right now. But it's very easy. It won't take you more than 5-10 minutes. Just make sure you do that and do that correctly, that everything is firing, so we can have the best optimal results connecting the pixel. So let's go to the next step, which is creatives. After you have and before running any ad, you should have a creative down. This is the most important level that you can pull on TikTok. Maybe 70% of the work there, and you should have a great creatives that you can actually rotate every week. So it needs a lot of more creatives than Facebook actually needs. So you need to have enough creatives to rotate in week in, week out. TikTok is a very creative and testing platform. Creative fatigue is real and it's much quicker than on Facebook. So you need to have, at least I would say like 4 to 8 creatives a single week. So you can test. Ideally, the more the better, because you're gonna find the best results. We have seen just by adding new creatives, things just pop off. Just because for the sake of it. I mean, creative is so important on TikTok, you don't even know. So I highly recommend going into the creative library inspo, going there, find some of like similar products, similar like service of yours, or similar ads of yours you're gonna imitate. I also have some links you can just take inspo of some in general info product businesses that have seen good success on TikTok, so you can emulate that and test. But of course, it's all about testing and what works with your unique occasion and your unique course, brand, coaching, whatever. So after you have this down, it's basically down to how we actually go about testing, how about scaling, how we're going to see the best results. Now, of course, you're on TikTok. The best objective right now is to optimize for leads. So it's going to be optimized, and when you actually see your VSL, you're going to have like a button, and you're going to see a pop-up, which basically can allow you to, pop up your fill in the email and stuff. So you can optimize for leads, so you can then try to reach out to them if they don't book the call immediately on that funnel. So I highly recommend going with custom conversions and leads and not the lead form in the TikTok platform, but you can test that as well. Just gonna see better results with the other one. So basically the account structure should be very simple. You should have 2 campaigns basically. One is going to be creative testing campaign, where you test creatives, and the other is the scaling campaign or core campaign, where you scale the winners from the creative testing campaign. You really push budget and you really push spend, and looking for the maximum revenue here. So the big difference between other platforms or creative testing campaigns, you test ads in single ad groups. So each ad group is gonna have one ad inside it. So we do that to ensure that you're gonna get spent, because TikTok is very bad at distributing spent between multiple ads in the same ad group. So if you have one ad group that has 5 ads, it will distribute spent in one ad. So you're gonna leave. So you're gonna be left with other 4 that didn't work and they didn't have any spent. You're gonna try to again do the same thing. So we have seen the best results isolating one ad in one ad group, pushing some spend behind, not too much, not too little, depending on your AOV of your product, where you're pushing stuff, just to ensure that you get enough data and enough spend to actually see if it's actually a worthy creative or a winning creative in general. So let's say, what do we look at that? We look, of course, the CPL, which is the cost per lead, but of course you're gonna say other metrics like the soft metrics like thumbs up ratio, average watch time, click-through rate, because it might have some strong soft metrics ratio, but just didn't work on the cost per lead. It might be the audience. If it actually looks good in general, we can also promote that even if it's not within our KPIs just right off the bat. It has to have either good soft metrics or either good core metrics, or both ideally, which is not always the case. So after we have some winning creatives, what do we do with them? We either do two things. First, we promote them into the core campaigns, which we scale and test different audiences. Second, we vertically scale them, so we increase the budget on that creative testing campaign, so we can make it, so we can push the most spend in that account and really scale things up if things are working in the creative testing campaign. Now, if you don't have the budget for both of that, just promote it into the core campaign and still let it run on the creative testing campaign if it actually works and provides a good CPL. And I think that not a lot of people actually talk about is iterate on these winning creatives. Find and distill that each creative, why it actually worked, why did it work, what's that hook that actually works, and try to different hooks with the same creatives, not changing anything but the hook. Try different styles in that fashion, try very similar creatives, just iterate on these winning creatives. You might find like a certain creative working the best or a certain creator working the best, just iterate on them so you can have much ability to scale and just repeat winning actions, guys. It's so important. I know it's super intuitive, you think, but not a lot of people actually doing that. They have some winning actions and they don't repeat it. It's so frustrating, but I've seen this all the time. So just make sure you do that. After that, how do we actually scale on the core campaigns? You test different audiences, you just ramp up the budget. The best way that we found scaling is basically horizontal scaling, so duplicating the ad groups, have even spend between 4 or 5 ad groups than rather just vertical scaling. We have found TikTok being very still really high budgets between one ad group, so like $500 or $600 behind one ad group. But again, it's something that you can test and you should test. But we just found very stable results. If one ad group doesn't work, we have like other 4 or 5. Some of the best audiences on TikTok is broad audiences, stacks of interest. You should test the household income targeting if you're targeting the US. Basically, you target people based on the income. And I have a lot of videos going through all the different things that we found scaling, but some of the best principles to scale horizontally and to try and test with value also, and really test a lot of stuff. If you have some data and you have good CPLs in some ad group, go in the view data button, see the best interest, and maybe just try different stuff. I wouldn't recommend going very segmented in an ad group. TikTok really loves going broader, so just make sure you let that around 15 to 20 mil. Of course, it depends on your country that you're targeting, but just keep it broad as possible so you have the best results really. This is how you scale on that fashion. So that's pretty much it. We go about everything, and that's pretty much it. This is how you actually start running your info offer on TikTok. We have seen great results recently. Remember guys, there are a lot of people on TikTok, and there is your ideal audience and your client. People have money on TikTok to spend, and the ad platform always get better. So I highly recommend go experimenting, and if you bring some spend to the platform, it's a real blue ocean round. Not people actually advertise, especially for coaching offers and info products. So it's a very good period to start experimenting, and once you hit the nail, you can get crazy low CPLs and really scale your offer, guys. So for this video, if you do have any other questions, please let me know, and have a good one.